Welcome to Criminals Who Care, a true crime podcast.
We have changed names, dates, and locations to protect the identity of the victims and their families.
All stories are true and all deserve to be told. This is Jen.
And this is Sarah.
And this is One Messed Up Crime. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Jen. Hello, listeners.
I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It's definitely Wednesday.
But I was just going to go along with it because you didn't have to tell the listeners that we're not recording on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it could be, any day.
You're just really honest.
I'm just really tired, guys.
I'm going to tell the story today of Sam.
Okay.
And Jen, you haven't read this one yet, so I'm really excited that I get to surprise you.
Yes, I can't wait to hear.
So this podcast, or this story I'm going to be telling right now, it is so messed up. I mean, my skin crawled when I was getting this report. Basically, we do book reports on these crimes. And my skin was crawling, and I had nightmares. And I think this is like the third time that I have done a book report for a podcast that I've had nightmares. So I'm thinking about outsourcing it and maybe getting someone else to do it. Then maybe they can also tell the stories.
Yeah, we listened to one by, what was the podcast? Sword and Scale. If you guys like true crime, you guys will really like that podcast. But let me tell you, it's very graphic. It's not PG-13.
No.
But if you're into true crime like we are, and you like kind of gory, I guess, creepy stuff, then check them out.
Yeah.
Free plug.
Yeah, and the good thing about Sword and Scale too is that they actually use like 911 tapes, and they use the interviews with the criminals. Typically it's a murder, and I find that so chilling to actually hear their voice talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, we digress. Let us talk today about Sam. Sam is a male, and he is 78 years old, and he lives in Boston, Massachusetts. This story was also, I think that this happened last year, so it's very recent.
Okay.
So Sam, he has no children, but he had a lot of friends,
okay.
From the community. He's a veteran, and he was in the Army in World War II. From that, he started having some falls, he had some arthritis, he had back pain, and he also had a really bad knee injury, and so he had just had surgery on it.
Okay.
He was on pain medications for the surgery, and he also had really bad back issues due to the military, and that was something I just left out there. He refused to leave his home that he had lived in 27 years, so he did not want to move into an assisted living or a nursing home that he could get VA assistance with. He had a dog, he was a widower, he missed his wife, he just wanted to be in his home, and I completely understand that. So Sam had this friend named Harry. Harry was one of his neighbors. Harry had a wife. She also had some pretty serious knee issues, and she was kind of sick. So Harry would, help her out, and he was trying to help Sam out as much as he could, but it was just becoming too much to handle.
Yeah.
So Harry says, okay, Sam, can we please just get you some help? Please get you a caregiver. This is going to be great for all of us.
Right.
So Sam agreed to let the caregiver come in his house just a few times a week. He's like, I'm not going to have someone living with me. I don't want them up in my business, but they can come. They can help me with my laundry. They can help me with meals, and they can help me get around. But he wouldn't let them help him with the shower because he was very modest.
Very private.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I would have such a hard time having someone bathe me. So I definitely agree with him. It can be hard.
It is very hard. It's a lot of times it's very necessary.
Yeah.
And the caregivers are always, very trained on how to do that and make people feel like they still
very
have much dignity.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he hired a caregiver by the name of Jules. Jules would come by Sam's house every day. She'd manage the household, cook for him, like I said, make sure he wasn't missing any of his medications. And sometimes, he's like, I just forgot this morning. I'll take it to later tonight. So she's like, no, you got to take your medications. Exactly. Sam ended up growing very, very fond of Jules. And, okay, they talked about how they would have probably dated if they were closer in age. Jules was 29. Again, Sam is 78.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say right now, love is love. Sometimes, you don't want age to be a barrier. However, I will say that this might be a red flag. Just a small one. Something to keep an eye out for.
Yes.
So Jules started spending more and more time with Sam. And she started to, quote, fall asleep on the couch. A few months went by, and Sam and Jules grew closer and closer. So I'm assuming at this point she was not sleeping on the couch. So Sam's neighbor Harry, he would come over to visit, and he found it so disturbing the way that Jules and Sam acted together. This way, he really didn't like the age difference, and he thought that something was really weird going on here.
Yeah.
Harry mentioned it to Sam. He's like, "This is so odd, Sam." And Sam brushed him off, said, "Mind your own business. I'm happy. Just leave it at that." Harry's like, "All right. I said something. Just remember, I said something."
Right.
Sam and Jules, they would go out in public and do things together at this point. And they would hold hands and have been seen whispering into each other's ears. So at this point, their relationship has turned to a romantic relationship.
That's too much. This is too much.
And this is after what, like a few months?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, something definitely seems odd here, like red flag. Jules told Sam, after a few months, she was in love with him and that their age difference of 50-ish years was just a number.
It just gives me the heebie-jeebies because this person has been alone. Most likely they're lonely. They're really isolated, right?
We'll be getting to that part, yeah.
And then she just comes swooping in.
Exactly. The main thing here that I am finding very unethical is the fact that she is hired by Sam to do him a service.
Yes.
And typically, well, actually not typically, this is how it should go, is if you hire a caregiver to come into your home, or, anyone at assisted living, or anyone who's caring for a senior adult, you should never accept any cash from them, no, quote, bonuses. I think the only thing that I would really feel comfortable with was maybe a meaningful gift, like a picture or a card. But you should never, ever accept anything of monetary value.
Right.
Because it's just very unethical.
Thank you card for your care. I mean, that's pretty normal.
Well, I'll say this. So I had a client, and she knows that I love bunny rabbits. So she had this little tiny, I guess, a ceramic bunny. And I mean, it's the size of your hand. It wasn't worth anything. And she said that she really wanted me to have it to remember her by.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the sweetest thing, and I did accept that.
Yeah.
But if she were to try to give me $100, that's the point where you say, "You know what, I'm going to let you keep that. No, thank you," and you graciously turn it down.
Yes, I totally agree.
So we're saying here that they're lovers now. Straight up lovers. But Sam... and also Sam didn't want to hide that they were in a romantic relationship. So Sam was still paying Jules and started giving her cash bonuses. Like, we don't really know how much that was, but if they were in a romantic relationship and he's still paying her to be there, it's a little weird there. And he bought her a car too. I don't think it was that expensive, but she was having some car trouble, so he bought her a car.
All these caregivers, they're always having troubles when they commit these crimes.
Oh yeah,
that's like the gateway of how they start getting their victims to pay for things. They're like, exactly. My car's broken, and then you get a car from them.
And let's just let's say this here for a fact that we're not talking about caregivers. We're talking about criminals who pretend to be caregivers to scam people.
Pose as caregivers.
Exactly. When Harry would come over to visit, Jules would start making Harry go in the bedroom, and Harry would be like, "Can I see him?" And she's like, "No, he's sleeping." A couple times he would come over, Sam was sitting in the living room, and she'd say, "You know what, Harry, I really don't want you to be here right now. You're going to have to come back later." So she started isolating Sam, which is a huge sign of elder abuse. At this point,